Dear students, today we are going to discuss Physics class 9th. The chapter is Force and Laws of Motion. Now, first of all, what is force? In smaller classes or in your previous classes, you all know that force we can define simply a push or a pull. Suppose we push anything or we pull anything, that push or pull is called as force. Now, what force can do? Suppose we have a stationary object, we can push the object or we can pull the object to make it move. We can stop the moving object, we can change the shape of the object. Suppose we have an inflated balloon, so when we compress it, we can change the shape, or when we stretch the rubber band or any elastic, we can also change the shape. So force can change the shape, it makes the object move, it makes the object to stop. Now, how many types of forces are acting on any object? So there are two cases for this. The first case is the horizontal case, in which suppose this is a table, and in this table, on this table, an object is lying here. The mass of the object is mkg. Now, what are the different forces which are being acting on this object? The first force is the weight of the object, which acts perpendicularly downward and which is equal to mg. You all know the formula, force is equal to mass into acceleration. Now, in this case, the mass of the object is m and g is the acceleration due to gravity. So, the weight of any object is called force. The weight or the force which is being generated towards ground is equal to mg. Similarly, another force acts perpendicularly upward and which is called as normal reaction. So, if we have a table, we have kept a book on the table, then there are two forces essentially acting on it. The first is mg acting vertically downward, and another one is normal reaction which acts vertically upward. The second case is of inclined plane. Now, you all are aware that they are not completely horizontal. So, in the case of inclined plane, let us have an inclined plane. Let this be the object. Now, in case of an inclined plane, what are the different forces which are being acting on this object? The very first force will be the weight of the object, which is called as mg. The weight of the object always act in the vertically downward direction. The second force is mg cos theta, if we take the angle of inclination to be theta degree. So, another force is acting perpendicular to the inclined in the downward direction, that is mg cos theta. The third force, which is in the just opposite direction of mg cos theta, that is the normal reaction. So, the third force is normal reaction. The fourth force is acting, now we can say that this box will move downward. So, frictional force will act in the opposite direction. So, this is Ff, means force of friction. And the fifth force will act in this direction. This is called as mg sin theta. So, we can simply say that on an inclined plane, there are 5 forces are acting. The first is mg, which is acting perpendicularly downward. Second is mg cos theta, where theta is the angle of inclination, and it is acting perpendicularly downward from the inclined. In its opposite direction, normal reaction is acting. In this direction, in the opposite direction of the motion, frictional force or the force of friction is acting, and in this direction the force is acting mg sin theta. So they are the components of the force which are being acted on the object. Now force can be of two types. The first type is balance force, and second one is the unbalanced force. Balance force. Now first of all come to the topic balance force. Now we have a table, and on this table we have kept a book, and we are not applying any external force on this. So we can say that book is lying on the table and it will remain on the table, because all the forces which are acting on the book, either the forces are acting downward, forces are acting upward, from left to right, from right to left, or from any direction, the sum of all the forces is equal to 0. So we can say in case of the balanced forces, the sigma f is equal to 0. Sigma का मतलब होता है sum of all the forces. It means sum of all the forces that are being acting on this object. Now what will happen if we push this book? If we apply some external force with our hand, then if we push the book, then book will start moving in this direction, because we have given the force in this particular direction, or we can simply say we have given the unbalanced force. Now if we add the force from this direction, then the forces becomes unbalanced, and we can say that the sigma f is not equal to 0. So in this case the book start moving in the direction of unbalanced force. Now what the balanced and unbalanced forces can do? Now in case of, let us take the case of balanced forces. Suppose it helps the object to remain at rest in the stationary position where the object has been kept or placed, or if the object is moving, then it allows the object to move with a uniform velocity. There will be no acceleration and there will be no retardation if we are applying balanced forces. Means the forward force is equal to the backward force. So the object shall remain in the rest, or if the object is in motion, then the object will remain in motion in constant velocity or constant speed. Whereas in case of unbalanced force, the object cannot be remain in rest position. It will, suppose we have kept the book, we have placed the force, then book start moving in the direction of the unbalanced force. Or if the object is moving and we applied the unbalanced force, then either the object will accelerate or it will retard. Means either the speed increases or the speed decreases. Okay, thank you very much for this video.